Hi, everybody. It's Anne Lewis, your independent Stamping Up demonstrator based on the Sunshine Coast here in Queensland, Australia. Tonight I'm doing two relatively quick projects. One is all about design, and the other one is all about speed, to be honest. So, wait a minute, I'll just throw you to me. Sorry. Oh, hi. I'll just change this around a little bit. Hiya, so this is the card I'm going to be showing you, plus another project, because I'm at the stage, well, I'm nearly at the stage, that might be a better way of saying it, of writing some thank you cards for Christmas, either for a really nice meal that I've had, or a nice get together, or really fabulous gift. Hopefully I'm going to get some. And or also just a little thank you for somebody throughout who's been really kind throughout the year. So I will just put you down here for a second and I'll walk you through the card while while I wait for a few people to catch up. So the card is it's all about design, this card. So it's got texture, it's got geometrical shapes, it's got some cute little images, it's got some stamping, and then it's got a really bright insert. So I will show you how to do this in a second, but before I do, leave a comment so I know that you can see and hear me. And to those watching on replay, thank you very much for joining us. I'm hoping that your lead in to Christmas is pretty darn fabulous. This is my last live before 2026. I'm going away, so I won't be here. But I'm still online. So if you need any help or need any advice, don't hesitate to give me a call. But I will be traveling. Now, for next year, whilst I wait for a few more people to come on board, next year my lives are going to change up. Wait a minute, I'm not where you think I'm not where you, yeah, I'm not where I am. You understood that. So next year I'm going to be doing live so that you can craft along with me. So you will see a change up, sorry, as you can hear, Kiko has decided to join. Um, so this is I think, going to be really good because you're going to be able to use your stash, make some really great projects and follow along with me. And yes, Kiko has decided to join me on my last um, live. Now, can you just wait a second? I really need to relocate her. She's going to start climbing the craft cupboard. Ah, that's just being because I've ignored her a little bit. I know. I'll distract her for a second. And for Glenda, hi, Auntie Glenda. Yes, I'm a little wicked. However, not only that, I'm going to be adding some classes. I think scrapbooking's going to come back. I used to do scrapbooking classes a fair bit in Brisbane. When I shifted up here, I just kind of ran out of time, I think. And I'm also going to do some kit classes in addition to my regular technique class every month. So let's hope that she's going to settle down there a little bit. So my catalogue launch for January is on Saturday as an alternative, Saturday the 17th of January, and my creative class is on the 31st, so that's a Sunday, which is my normal day. They will be changing up just a little bit as well. Hi, let's get started. Now, I have to say today has been one of those days. I had a major plumbing issue, so I was running a little late, but oh, wait a minute, I need to swap this around again. Let's get started on this project. How cute is this? Now, I will show you, it's a sneak peek. I'll show you where it comes from. Oh, well, perhaps I should first show you. Look what I have. I have the mini catalogue for January. Can't show you what's inside yet. Yours, if you have ordered from me recently, you should have one winging their way to you. But it's released on, I think, the 6th of January. Now, there is some designer series paper inside that called Cute as a Bug. And it is super cute. And I don't know, I just felt like I needed to do something that was really cute. And you can see by these images how cute this paper is. It's got kind of a plain, what I would call a B-side. And I have to say, some people like our designer series paper B-side better than what I would call the A-side. And it also has 2 sheets of these little panels. So you can see how gorgeous these are. And then that's the back side. Well, the B side sounds a little nicer, doesn't it? So I'm going to be showcasing that. Now, you can see, whilst that can look, you can use it for children's cards, you can also use these images because it comes with dies and stamp sets. So that's the stamp set. You can see how gorgeous they are, and they're outline stamps. So you could do some colouring, or you can leave it as it is. And these are the dies. Now, what I did with these dies, because there's a lot of shapes here, I'm not sure, 22 shapes. Can you hear that noise? That is a pussycat looking for attention. What I do is, once I discover what these images work with, because they work with the images either from the stamp set or the designer series paper, I actually write it on. Now, I haven't worked out all of them. Some of them are pretty easy. Anyhow, so so they're the dies. So there's a lot of ones. Now, this is probably my favourite one. And it has a little butterfly, a little snail, and a little dragonfly on it. And I'm going to show you how that die cuts out later tonight. Now, I've done a fair bit of the work because I was running a little late, so I wanted to catch up. Now, first off, let's find my supply list, my supplies. So I've got my basic, so my basic white designers, basic white cardstock, which is 5.5 inches, 5.5 inches by 8.25, which is the width of A4 paper. Now, I'm not sure you can see this, but you can see I've got this little ridge up here, and that's because when I did cut this, my blades needed a bit of needed replacing. So they're pretty easy. I think, I'm not sure that's whether Stamping Up online store has blades at the moment, because they may have run out. But I do have blades which I can sell you if you live locally and come and pick them up. Okay, so I'm going to score this at 4 1/8 inches. I'm trying to ignore that sound. Very much so. However, while she's on the other side of the table, I don't know why. She was fast asleep when I last looked at her. So there's my card base. Now, I then cut in crushed curry the piece here, which is 3 7/8 by 5.25. And then I'll show you what I did. I then actually embossed it. Now, I used an embossing folder that has nothing to do with this suite. It's the join together from the annual catalogue. It's a Kintsugi embossing folder, even though it's called Joined Together. And it does this really great, lots of texture, a lot of different texture, and it was perfect for this one, for the bee. I know. So all I did was just show you. Oh, first off, just think of this as a plain piece. Is I die cut using these dies here, the stylish shapes, and you hear me say this. They're carried over into the annual catalogue, but you see me use these, I think, just about every week. So first off, what I did was I die cut that piece out. So let me show you what I did. It's very simple. I grabbed the largest die, and this is the largest die that Stamping Up has now, a circle die, I mean, which is a bit disappointing. I wish we had some really big ones. So all I did was run it through and took that little piece off like that. Right? So ran it through like that. This piece I kept because I want to use it because it turns into this piece, which is where that really interesting design actually comes from. So I'm going to put this here, and then this is just going to pop under there. But first off, let's cut out the bee. Hopefully I can find a little bee in here. Now I'll show you where I got the bee from. It's from the Designer Series paper. And I was telling you before that these images, that one cuts out, the little bee cuts out, and it's my favourite. As you know, my team's called the Crafty Paper Bees, so I really felt I needed to do a bee card as my thank you. Now those ants cut out, this caterpillar with the leaf cuts out. There's a lot that cuts, and this little flower cuts out. So it's kind of one of, the lily of the, I call them lily of the valleys. Can you see that? Well, who knows? What are they called? So a lot of this, these little ladybugs also cut out with the dies. So it makes this really interesting. Now, what I always do, so I don't ruin the paper, is I actually just cut in, and I've cut it from that edge there, and then I can put this through our cut and emboss machine. Now, before I get started, I'm going to just bring my mini on. Now I'm using my mini. As you know, I have trouble with my wrists and been having a lot of trouble with my wrists lately. So that hence why I'm using the mini, and I'm only doing a little bit of die cutting online. Now, so that's the image, and this is the die, and you can see how it sits like that. Now, I'll show you my sandwich. This is for the mini. Now, a lot of you I know, well, I shouldn't say a lot of you, some of you have had trouble with using the mini. And I just find this is the plate that's recommended by Stampin' Up, and they also recommend that you stagger them. Now, mine are a little bent, my plates, and probably that one could do with replacing, but I use them for a fair while. Now, what I've discovered, and this is what happens when you talk to other crafters. So this is the thin die adapter, so it's number 1. Acrylic plates are number 2. And then there's a standard embossing folder. It is probably the best one to do some die cutting with. I don't know why, but it is. So even though it says it's the embossing folder, it's the one that I use to actually do die cutting. So I still have 2 acrylic plates. Now, because this is, I want to make sure that I get this nice and in the right place and it doesn't move, especially with those fairly bent plates. I've got to line this up because you know what I always say, line it up in 4 places. 1, 2, well, I've just moved that 3, and that little bee stinger is a really good place to line up. All right, so I'm just going to put this here, put this back over here. Now I've got a little flower on that piece, so I'll do that separately. Let's not get too adventurous. Let's pull that over so you can see. Now I still staggered them, but you can see even for me, it's a lot easier. Now, hello to everybody. I know I haven't acknowledged you, but to Glenda, Myrtle, and Jan. Now, if you are watching, let me know where you're watching from, especially if you're someone new. So look how cute that little bee is. Oh, I love him. Or her. Which is it? Kiko, the wicked cat, has disappeared. I shouldn't even call her name. I think she gave up. She realized I was not going to give her any attention. Now, so again, I'm just going to use a little bit of washi tape to stick that down. Hopefully, I think I might have moved that. Let's see. Oh, oops. I'm making that hard work. It's not that difficult. Before I forget, I need to put these dies away. Otherwise, I'll get a little lost. No, that's better. Put this here, put that there, and I'll go and grab my mini cut and emboss. You see why I use it, because it's so easy on my wrist. Not that the big one's hard, it's just that my wrist is a little stuffed. Anyway, so there's a cute little flower. Now I'm going to put these away, because you know what happens if I don't. It's going to get lost. I'm pretty sure I will end up putting these on magnetic sheets. These are the new packaging. And most of the dies are fine, but with 22 dies, there's a fair chance I'm going to lose some of them if I don't do something with them. I don't. So let's have a look at this card. So what happens is this is going to sit under there. Now I do kind of have a little bit of a play with this because I want enough room for this bee, even though I'm going to cut a little bit of him off, or her off. So I just love, it's just such a cute little bee. I know, so I'm going to grab some multi-purpose glue. Now for me, I'm just going to put it around the edge here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just put those over there. I do want to make sure I've got the right side for the embossing folder, or for the embossed side. I think that is going to be exactly how I want it. maybe just a little bit more of that circle. And it's just such a nice, it's just an interesting way of making the front of the card, and it's not difficult. It doesn't use a lot of supplies. And then I'm going to, now, normally I would stamp first, add my little bee, but I want this to be well lined up. So let's add some of my dimensionals. Now I do use for this card a lot of dimensionals. So for all those that always tease me that there must be a sale on dimensionals, this is one of those cards you will need a lot of dimensionals on. I'm just checking if there's any comments. Hi, Carol. And maybe one more. Oh, one more there, and then one more in the middle so it doesn't collapse. Oh, there's about 4 came off there. Now, I'll grab my pokey tool, lift these up. Bin here. Oh. So what's everybody doing for Christmas? Who's got their Christmas preparations done? I'm still trying to get my Christmas cards sent out. There's been a fair bit happening with trying to get all those Charity Day cards out. There's only a couple left. There we go. Now, way I always do this is I line up 3 sides and get them right, and then that 4th side will just look after itself. I know. There we go. Now I'm going to drop the bee. It's like how I say drop the bee there. And I've got a little flower that that little bee is going to be holding. I'll put the bee down first. Now I'm going to trim that bee, a little bit of that bee off, just to make her fit. Now add the flower. As I said, this is just a fun card. I don't think all cards have to be lots of different layers or even fancy folds. Now, where's my scissors? So I'm going to cut this off. So to cut it off, the easiest way is to just turn it over, and then you've got a nice guide. So how cute is she? He. Righto. So now I wanted, this is a thank you card, remember? And so I wanted to put a sentiment on the front, and I decided to put it down here. So my sentiment says, I'm so grateful. So I'll just put it close to the edge. Now I have to say, in case you're wondering why this little ladybird is there, can you guess why there is a random ladybird on my card? See if you, let me know why you think I did it. Did I do it as a design, or do you think there might have been a slight accident, perhaps with the black ink? And I had to hide it, and that was the quickest way I could do it. So I'm so grateful. Is where this card. I'll tell you where this sentiment comes from. Oh dear. How cute is that? Now, it actually comes from the Benner saying. So this actually comes with a punch. and does little banners. I love, love, love it. But I also like the sentiments. You are loved. I'm so grateful. Consider yourself hugged. I used a few of these. Wishing you good things. I can't thank you enough. Now, I only wanted single line to make this. So how cute is this? Right. So I love it. And in fact, I quite like the little ladybirds. Now, this is part of this suite. So it comes with those gorgeous little ladybirds or ladybugs, and it comes with some little embellishments. Now I'm going to add one of these just because I feel it brightens up, but I'm not going to put it in the same space. I'll put it in a little different spot. As I said, I can now pick which way it actually goes. How gorgeous are these? I bet they all are gone very soon. Yeah, so let's open this up. Now, what I did was I grabbed some of this paper, and I say that I picked my least favorite paper, which was this, and just cut a piece there. Now, so this piece is going to be, it's going to be 3 7/8 wide. Oops, 3 7/8 wide by 5 1/4. So exactly the same size as that original crushed curry piece, as you can see. Exactly that same size. Now, what I did was die cut in the center, but because I'm going to be a little flash, I have these already die cut. These are leftovers from somewhere, so I always keep them in the box. So instead of doing what I've done here, which is die cut this piece out, and I do have that circle to use on another project somewhere. I'm going to do this a little easier. I've got cat hair on the table. I don't know how that happened. So I'm going to put this here. Now, I want you to see this has little bees on it as well. Now, this paper has a whole range of colours. And whilst they don't clash, they may not coordinate as much as some of the other designer series papers do. But they still work together, as you'll see. I'm going to make sure that bee's up the right way, not crooked. I'm going to put that there, and I will add these little sentiments. So the first sentiment is thanks a million. I've just got a little bit of rubbish on here. I know. So I'm doing this with Memento ink. And I've got a really quick project that is going to come in very handy after this. Got a few things. I know, it's the wrong side. In case you didn't know that dies, when you cut them, have a right and a wrong side. So the first bit is going to be thanks a million. It needs a bit better inking. I haven't cleaned this one, but anyway, it will be okay. What I normally do is clean it with the stamping scrub. Then my next one is going to be consider yourself hugged, which is just a nice. I just like that as a second line. Okay, so put that there, and so I'm going to use. I was going to use them on the next project, but let's use them here. And remember, I showed you those little tiny dragonflies and stamp sets, and dragonflies, butterflies, and snails. So I just cut some designer series paper. Well, how can I show you these? Hopefully you can see them. Now I could use on either side, but I like this side the best. So I just used some of that paper, designer series paper, put it through with a die, and look at these cute little, so I might throw them on. Just stick this down first. Now you could use any paper for this project. I just wanted to have a little sneak peek of this super cute paper that I love. Right. I know, so just to stick these down. I lost a snail. I have. How could I lose a snail? I know, so I'm left with a butterfly. I'll see if this turns up somewhere. I'm a little cranky. Yeah. How could that escape? I know, so I might have to add. I don't know. How cute are these? Oh, there's the snail. That's good because I only got to have 3. I need a little space so that I can write something nice. A cover up, maybe, definitely a cover up. Where will we put this? Maybe up there. I don't know. So they're just cute. Sometimes you just got to play and have fun. But yeah, so there's the card. So kind of done the same, or no card is going to be identical. And then I've done the inside. Now, I've got an envelope here. That's not the right envelope. Where's my actual envelope? Here's my actual envelope. And you will see me do this lots. So what I always do, especially, this is not my favourite piece of paper. So I'm going to cut this, keep that piece. And I think I want to cut this. And you see me do this fairly regularly. What is this? This is going to be 2.5 inches. I'm just going to cut this off at 2.5 inches. Right. This is how I just pull it all together, this card. This is such a simple way of decorating your envelope. So I just put a fine bead of liquid adhesive around it. I put this, make sure it's in the right direction, right up to the fold line, but not past it, because you want it to be able to fold well. Now, I then just grab my bone folder and then just cut around this really, really quickly. Let's use some of these good scissors. They're a bit quicker. They're a bit bigger. Trouble going around that corner today. Now I've still got a really quick project, and you're going to love this because of how easy and how useful it actually is. Because we get to Christmas, and I don't know if you're like me, but I'm always running behind. So how gorgeous is that? So there's your card, and then it matches the inside. Rightio. So there's my card, just a little thank you. Now, what I wanted to do is show you a quick way. I'll show you my original, but I've changed it up. So this is my original, and actually what it is an envelope converted, and I'll show you how I've done it with a little envelope. So if I undo this, there's so many ways you could secure this, and so many ways you could actually use this because I could put another card in there and pull it up. I could put some chockies in here. I could put a little gift card in here. So lots of different ways that I can use that. But this time I'm going to use one of the envelopes from the notes and envelope. So you get 20 note cards and 20 envelopes, and they're still under $20. It's such a good value. And now, if you're like me and you live in a very humid area, some of my note cards get a little stuck. So this is the perfect, not my note cards, my envelopes get a little stuck. This is a perfect way of using them, because if they're stuck, you don't even have to stick these down. Now, I want to show you how to do this. So I'm just going to adhere this down. And normally what I would do is have a little paintbrush. I don't have a paintbrush, so let's just do that. Now, so now it's completely sealed. I'm going to grab my trimmer. And I'm just going to trim it back down to 5 inches, just to keep it to a simple. So I've done it so that the hole is, this opening is on the short side. You can decide how you do it. Now, which paper will I use? Maybe this one. If it was, I don't know. This one, if it was an adult. So let's, probably my thank yous are going to be an adult. So I've already done, so this is going to be, I better double check this, it's at 5 inches. So that's exactly 5 inches. So let's just do this really quickly, because this is the whole idea of this. So I'll cut this off at 5 inches by 3 5/8. I just do is turn it over 3 5/8. Now I may have to trim this down just a bit, which is what big scissors come. Oh, I need another piece of that actually. So, because I'm going to cover the back as well. Don't have to, but I like it. So 3 5/8 again. Okay, so now I've just got 2 matching pieces, and you're going to see how quick and easy this comes together. I know, so I'm going to stick that down. Now, I said there would be a little bit of an overhang, and there is. Where's my adhesive? Now, I think I'll have to go to Aldi and find some chocolates that fit in here. I like the little size a little better. There we go. And there's my, hopefully that's my opening. No, that's my opening. Righto. Turn this over, do exactly the same. Oh, actually, I want to trim this up just a bit before I put the second side on. It makes it a little easier. It's only just a little, it's just about spot on, actually. I'm not even going to bother. So close. Yep. So there's my opening. And I want that glue, I want that to glue down. Now, so I know this is, I'm just guessing I'm going to do a 2 1/4, I think. Let's see. Where's my pencil? 2, 3 1/2. No, 2 1/2. I don't know. I have to think about this. 2 inches. So 1 3/4. So about there is my halfway mark. So I've got a little punch sitting on my desk somewhere. Here it is. Now I picked, so I've got a little mark there that I can rub off later. I've got a few layers. So where is it? I'll just bring that up so I can see it. So I'm just punching through all of those layers. Getting it nice and straight. Why am I having trouble punching it? Because I didn't before. Doesn't want to punch now. Or maybe my arm doesn't want to punch it. I had no trouble. It was so easy. Oh no, that's better. So now I've got a little, hoping, wait a minute. Hoping you can see. I've now got a little, maybe that'll help. Yep. Now you can see. So there's my little packet. There's so many things I could put in there. You can put a little gift, little piece of jewelry or whatever. Now I've got some retired Poppy Parade. Now, say you're putting chocolates in here, and I want to show you how to do this. It's such an easy project. I know, so I've put it through both sides like that, right? I cut it way too much. Now, let's just say I have a chocolate, and you know there won't be any chocolates left in my house because I love them too much. Let's just put a block in. Pretend this is a block of chocolate. And all you need to do, ooh, this might be a bit big. Yes, yeah, it's too big. Where's a little one here? Here's a smaller block of supposed chocolate. So I've got this there, and I can just slide that in. Right. I can then tie this off. Now I could do this with a card. I could do it with chocolates. So many things. So I'm just really simply tying this off. All right. So I'd adjust that, but I'm about to undo it. So now, say I want to pull that chocolate up. Look at that. So it's just a nifty way of getting something out of the box, out of the packet, without actually. See how that works? All I have to do is pull the bow up, and up out it pops. Now, you may not want to do that. You may want to leave whatever it is. And if that's the case, you'd then tie this. You'd make this a lot shorter. And you do what I did. Oh, I've undone this. You do what I did on this one, which is just feed it through and then tie a little twine or something around the bottom to keep it in place. Now, on the front here, I obviously want a little, let's see if I've got a little green layer here. I know, look at that. This is why you keep your little layers. So I would put that there. Now, I'd love some of those little, actually, I'm going to turn this over, put it here. I'd love some of those little snails again, but maybe I'll just put some of these on to save a little bit of time. And because this is going to be a bit of a rush job, I mean, it's a rush job because we're coming up to Christmas and we may need a few of these. I'm going to be using the Greetings for All ephemera pack, which has these black and white, some black, some white background sentiments. As you see, I have really got into these. I might just do a sending hugs. Oh, hello. Have I got any thank yous left? I use thank yous most of all. I thought I had some thank yous left. They've got Christmas ones. It's such a good. It's got Valentine's one. Be just a hello or thinking of you. Let's see what I got. I must have a thank you here somewhere. I love you. Yes. Oh, thanks. This will do just perfectly. Simple. I can write something more on it if I wish. But it does need some little bit of embellishment on it. I'll grab some dimensionals. So this is I've done so many Christmas cards, done a few gifts, mainly gift packs for friends, people who aren't that well. Oop, let's put that down. Perfect size. So you can see how quick and easy these may be. Actually, I've got an idea. Got some chocolate. I do have some chocolates here. Wait a sec. Sorry, I'm coming. Okay. And look, I've got some little elves popping candy that I could put in here. Actually, put a couple in here, I think. But anyway, we'll just do that. And then I could drop that on. I might pop this up as well. And how cute is this little packet? And I didn't have to make a box. I just had to decorate it really simply. And I didn't get too carried away. Put that there. Then where's some of the... Should I put another little... Put a little one of those there. Maybe a couple of these little plain embellishments here. I should be using the... Oh, I've got something in my eye. Shouldn't be this hard. This is why Stampin' Up give us this end. But I've just about run out of putty. Hence why I'm not using the putty. I don't think I've got enough putty left. I don't. You get the idea. I don't. Let's go off like... I don't. Got it. I know. There we go. Oh, I need a third one, don't I? This little escapee here will be perfect. Amanda says they're her favourite Christmas chocolates. Hey-o. So how? I've never eaten these before. Popping Cadbury Magical Elves. Popping candy, solid. I think it's solid, way too small. But anyway, you could put a few of those in there. And how cute is that? Oh, I didn't get it in the right place. But anyway, there we go. So how easy is that project? And it's another nice little thank you. So we'll go back to, that's the big size, a normal size envelope. Got to find my cards, which are hiding somewhere on my desk. Where are they? Oh, here they are. And these are the let's clean up this a little bit. You don't need all this stuff here. Rightio. So I'd tie this with a nice bow. I'll tie this with a nice bow just so you can get the idea. Obviously. But how easy were those projects, and just perfect. I know. Let's slow that down a little bit. I would cut this ribbon down if I wasn't going to want it as a pull-up. So, and I would cut that down a little bit. And there's the little cute cards. That bee is super, super cute. And I've got an envelope that matches the cards. So easy projects, something that most of you would have an embossing folder, or you could actually use just designer series paper. You could use flowers here. You could use, if you don't have this paper, the cute as a bug paper. There's so many things you could use. You could stamp it. You could colour it. So many things. Rightio. Hopefully you liked those projects. I've still got some chocolates here. Who would have thought that I had chocolates still in my house? Rightio. Wait a minute. Something's happened here. Rightio. Hopefully. I just had a problem with technology as always. Rightio, that's it for 2025. Can't wait for next year. And I hope that these projects tonight, that you have some fun with them and make them your own by using what's in your stash. Now, don't forget, I have a catalogue launch on Saturday, the 17th of January, and also my creative class for January on the 31st. All the details will be going up in the next couple of weeks. Well, I hope in the next couple of weeks. Next week also. Rightio, everybody. Wait a minute, I'll throw you back to see me. Have a very Merry Christmas. If you're traveling on the roads, keep safe and enjoy your time with everyone in your community, whether it's your family, friends, neighbours, and whatever, or whoever. Thank you very much for your support this year. I have truly appreciated it. And I look forward, I'm really excited about doing some things different for next year that will make your crafting even more easy. Bye for now. Have a fabulous day. And that's from Kiko, who has kind of abandoned me, which is a very good thing. Have a great time, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Bye for now.